is hard and it's gonna get harder. We need to use our brains to get smarter.
So that we can end the situation. Then we can give all the cops a vacation. It's simple and plain.
I know your heart's enough.
Say no to drugs and walk hands up.
Hands up! Hands up! Oh, hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Oh, hands up!
Someone who has been successful in keeping away from drugs is Ashanti Hamilton. Although there was drug use all around him, Ashanti was able to hang tough against it. Ashanti is 17 years old, and here is his story.
My mother had always had a hard time paying the bills and paying the rent every month. I didn't realize that it was because she was using money for drugs or anything at the time, but that was the reason we had to move back with my grandparents. My mother is not the only person that I knew that did drugs. It was a host of people, a host of friends, family, a lot of people, and I mean, it's kind of weird when your mother's doing it, your best friend's selling it, your cousin's selling it. You know, it's all around you, and then when your cousin gets shot and dies, and your best friend goes to jail, I mean, you do have to decide for yourself, you know, what you want. But that wasn't for me. There was a time when I was offered to sell drugs with my best friend, and I didn't know how to react at first. I knew it was wrong, and I knew I didn't want to do it. I never felt the need to do drugs. I never had that curiosity. You know, I've seen it all my life. I've seen what drugs have done to people. I've seen what it does to lives. I've felt what it's done to my own life. And I see where it's leading other lives. Well, drugs in my family nearly diminished the word family in my life totally. I did have an aunt named Laquita who was an inspiration to me, you know, who guided me, who I looked up to. You know, the fact that she had made it and that she's making it, you know, was that much, you know, it was everything to me, you know. Proved to me that, you know, it's not impossible. And that's all you really need to know, is that it's not impossible. I could have been a drug dealer or a drug user. You know, I could have had my life on the line, you know, every day. I mean, a lot of people may say, you know, well, you know, most likely you would have went that way. It wasn't most likely to me. You know, that wasn't one of my options. It wasn't. There was no way I could have went that way. I made a decision based on what I wanted. I didn't want jail. I didn't want death. But I did want success. I did want to fulfill my dream. I go to school at Riverside University High School. I'm the captain of the football team. I went all conference this year, my senior year, even though we didn't win a game. I'm also the captain of the track team. I'm the president of the varsity club at our school. There's no way you can compare smoking a joint or having a drink or smoking crack to the feeling you get when you score a touchdown or finish running a race in track, or, you know, just being with your friends, having a good time. You know, it's your choice. No one's gonna shove it up your nose or throw it down your throat. You know, it's you keep it out of your life. A lot of things may be unfair. You may have to make a lot of unfair decisions. You may have to live under some unfair conditions. It may be unfair, but hey, you gotta hang in there, you know. You gotta hang tough, you know, and be strong, because it's possible to make it.
I think Ashanti wasn't involved with drugs because he was a real cool dude. Ashanti made a
a decision, and that decision was to keep drugs out of his life.
He always wanted to stay in school and get good grades and just have a successful life.
I think Ashanti kept drugs out of his life by choosing the right friends and not choosing ones that were dealing drugs and using them.
He knew how drugs affected his mother and, friends, and he didn't want to end up, being dead or going to jail. He wanted to make something of his life.
Ashanti kept drugs out of his life by staying in school, being in the football team, in the track meet.
He knew that he could have much more fun without drugs.
He had enough respect for himself that he was going to say, I'm cool because I don't take drugs.
And he also recognized the conditions of what drugs can do to you, so when he was offered, he just refused.
My personal experiences gives me some insight into what works for families that are struggling. These are not statistics. These are real people. This is the lives of people that I know and understand. I was homeless where I was, in the midst of very violent surroundings. Those experiences directed my life as a young person and has given me purpose as an adult. And I'm hoping to be able to have the type of impact that will recognize young people who had experiences like I did and give them an opportunity as well. If the city operated in a way, in recognizing that, people who are given an opportunity and support to lead better lives we will be much further along as a community. We have to do this. It's imperative for the success of this city, this state, and this country.